It seems to me that there are a couple of things that the conglomerate has continued to promote more than other things that were on its agenda, and still are to a certain extent, but not as much as they were. And I think the things that it has continued to promote the most are child molestation, and then this issue of voyeurism and involuntary pornography. And I think the reasons for that are that children cannot defend themselves. They don't have a voice the way that adults have a voice, right? So as much as I object to the way the conglomerate wants to treat women, I'm sure that many other women have also objected. They're hearing about it every day, and they have been able to put a stop to a lot of it by not doing it themselves, and by not tolerating it and not supporting it. And they have had, women, it seems to me, had already made enough gains in the decades before the conglomerate happened that they are able not to just be kind of swept off the map by the conglomerate. It's still an issue, still problems, but I just kind of from these past 5.5 years of just kind of seeing everything that's been happening, I have noticed that they are promoting the kinds of really directly offensive sexual harassment issues a lot less than they were for the first couple of years. So that's one thing. And then as far as but of course children can't do that. Children cannot even begin to protect themselves, defend themselves, speak up for themselves, advocate. They have no power. So that issue of child molestation promotion is continuing to be promoted, and it really shouldn't be, and it's disgusting, because the conglomerate is taking advantage of human beings who cannot protect themselves, cannot defend themselves, and have no say in what's happening to them. There's nothing they can do. There's nowhere they can go. If there's no one they can tell. Whoever it is they can tell probably doesn't really have that much power to help them. There are probably a few fortunate children who have been able to get out of bad situations or avoid them in the first place, and many haven't. And there's just nothing they can do, because adults have all the power. And as far as the involuntary pornography and voyeurism issue is concerned, well, I am by far the worst victim, the worst, I think, adult victim of that there's ever been, as far as I know. I mean, I don't think anything like what's happening to me has ever happened to anybody. To be targeted like this, to have it happen over and over again, above all of my objections, it just gets to laugh in my face, acting like it doesn't matter that I never consented to this, didn't want it, still don't want it, and it just to have it happen even once, but then to have it continue to happen, and for me to be treated like it's just the way that I deserve to be treated. It's horrifying, and yet, if it's just me, and it's not like there are all these other people out there who are able to object, because it just kind of hasn't happened in the same way. Well, the conglomerate doesn't want to listen to a lot of things that I have to say, right? I am an adult kind of by myself about this. Although there have been many other victims of voyeurism, many other victims of involuntary pornography. It does happen to people, but this is what's happening to me. I don't think it's ever really happened to anybody before. It will happen to other people, and probably is. And there are probably people who are, just in terms of being kind of bullied, and nobody's really hearing about it, and they're living in fear this is going to happen to them, or it's already happened to them, and they're suffering a lot and feel like there's nothing they can do. With the conglomerate, I am just one person, and the conglomerate likes to just pretend that everything I have to say has no value whatsoever. So that I think those are the reasons that those things have not started to fade the way that other things that the conglomerate has promoted have faded actually quite a lot.